Have you felt it? That subtle yet powerful shift in the air? The electric charge, the undeniable pull, like the universe itself is whispering your name? It's no accident that you're here, reading this message. You're not just here by chance. You're on the edge of something extraordinary, and right now, the universe has one final message it wants to deliver to you before everything changes. It's a message meant for you, at this very moment. Do you feel the anticipation? The quiet promise that something incredible is just around the corner? For years, you've been walking a path that few can truly understand. Every step, every struggle, every dream, it's all been leading you to this very instant. The weight of your journey might have felt unbearable at times, and there were moments when you questioned whether you had the strength to continue. But look back now, chosen one. Look at the distance you've traveled. Every challenge, every heartbreak, and every triumph has prepared you for what's coming. You're on the brink of transformation, and the universe is aligning all the pieces for you. Your journey has been one of resilience. You've carried a light that few can see, a strength that has allowed you to navigate the challenges that others couldn't even begin to comprehend. Every setback, every disappointment, every period of waiting, it was all part of the process. The universe has been preparing you for this moment, the moment when everything clicks into place. Now, you might find yourself standing in stillness, unsure of what comes next. The energy around you might feel heavy, or you might feel as if you're stuck in limbo. But I want to reassure you, this stillness is not a void. It's sacred. It's the calm before the storm. The universe is gathering its forces, aligning every detail, and preparing you for what's about to come. Even though it may feel like nothing is happening, trust that every second of stillness is part of the grand plan unfolding before your very eyes. This is the countdown to something massive, something transformative. Your soul has been preparing for this moment, and now the energy is building, shifting, aligning. Every trial you faced, every delay, every heartbreak, it was all preparing you for this breakthrough. It's no coincidence that you're feeling the pull, the urgency, the whisper of transformation that's been getting louder and louder in your heart. The universe has been guiding you, nudging you, and now, it's time to step into your power. Transformation doesn't always arrive with grand fanfare. It often begins quietly, subtly, in moments that seem insignificant but are, in fact, laying the groundwork for something massive. Perhaps it's a feeling of peace where anxiety once reigned, or an opportunity that seems perfectly timed, or even a chance encounter that shifts your entire perspective. These are the signs of transformation. They're the whispers of the universe, signaling that you are on the right path, that your time is coming. However, with transformation comes the resurfacing of old patterns, doubts, fears, and insecurities may try to creep in, testing your readiness. These feelings are not a setback. They are simply part of the process, a final test to ensure that you are truly ready to embrace the change that awaits you. The universe is calling on you to confront these lingering shadows and step into your true power without hesitation. This is not just an external transformation. It is a shift within you. The way you see yourself, your purpose, and your connection to the world is evolving. You are shedding old layers, releasing the beliefs and identities that no longer serve you, and stepping into your authentic self. This is your soul aligning with its destiny, a profound act of freedom as you move closer to embracing the truth of who you are. As you stand at the edge of this transformation, remember that you are not alone. Your spirit guides, your ancestors, and the universe itself have been walking alongside you. They've been working tirelessly behind the scenes, clearing obstacles, creating synchronicities, and sending you signs to remind you that you are supported. Every step you take, they are right there with you, guiding you toward your destiny. It's time to trust those nudges, the small signs and whispers that you may have overlooked in the past. Whether it's a song that plays at the perfect moment or a conversation that feels divinely timed, these are all part of the universe's plan for you. Pay attention to these messages, and allow your intuition to be your compass. Your soul knows the way, you simply need to trust it. You may feel like you're standing at the edge of a cliff, unsure of what comes next. But this moment of uncertainty is not something to fear. It is a moment of alignment, a moment when the universe is asking you to take that first step, even if the path is unclear. Trust that the steps you take will reveal the next ones. You don't need to see the whole staircase, just take the first step, and everything else will follow. You are ready for this transformation. You have been prepared for this moment, and the universe is aligning all the pieces. Trust yourself, trust your guides, and trust that everything is about to change. The countdown is over. The time is now. As you step forward, remember that this transformation is not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about shedding the layers that no longer serve you and embracing the truth of who you are. You are ready to step into your power, to live authentically, and to align with the purpose that your soul has been calling you toward. The universe has been preparing you for this moment, and now it's time for you to take the leap. Trust in the process, trust in yourself, and trust that everything is unfolding as it should. Your destiny is waiting, and everything you've been through has led you to this point. So, embrace the stillness, embrace the unknown, and step boldly into the extraordinary life that awaits you. This is your moment, chosen one. The universe is calling, are you ready to answer? Have you ever felt that gentle, unshakable pull deep within your soul? It's as though something greater than you has been guiding you all along. Maybe it's in the moments that make you stop in your tracks or the signs that seem to appear just when you need them most. These experiences are not random. The universe has been speaking to you in ways that transcend words and logic. Its messages are subtle, persistent, and designed to guide you toward your highest purpose. The language of the universe is one of synchronicity, patterns, and intuition. At times, these messages come in the form of repeating numbers, sequences like 111, 444, or 777, that catch your eye and make you pause. Perhaps you've had dreams that linger long after you wake, vivid symbols appearing in your sleep that you can't quite explain but feel deeply connected to. These aren't coincidences. They are your personal invitation to align with something greater than yourself. You may have overheard conversations that seemed as if the words were meant specifically for you, or noticed a song that perfectly captured what you were feeling at the moment. These moments, small as they may seem, are the universe's way of communicating with you, offering clarity, comfort, and guidance. They remind you that you are not alone on this journey, that everything is happening as it should, and that you are not wandering aimlessly. Synchronicity is a powerful force that operates in your life without you even realizing it. It's a divine orchestration of events, opportunities, and encounters that happen in perfect timing to lead you toward your purpose. Reflect on the times when everything seemed to fall into place effortlessly, the people you met at the exact moment you needed them, the opportunities that appeared when you were on the verge of giving up. These moments are not accidents. They are the universe speaking to you in its own unique way. The universe is constantly sending you signs, nudges, and whispers, but it's up to you to be aware and to listen. Sometimes, these signs are easy to miss if you are too caught up in the noise of daily life or if you're trying too hard to control everything. The universe speaks loudest in the stillness, in the quiet moments when you let go of the need to micromanage and instead, surrender to the flow of life. It's in these moments that the signs become undeniable. The more you pay attention to these synchronicities, the more they begin to multiply. You might start noticing repeating numbers on clocks, license plates, or billboards. Perhaps you hear a song that seems to perfectly reflect your current emotional state. These seemingly small, random occurrences are the universe's way of reassuring you that you are on the right path. One of the greatest challenges you face on this journey is letting go of control. As humans, we often feel the need to manage every detail of our lives, to plan, organize, and predict what comes next. But the truth is, the universe doesn't work in this way. It doesn't operate on our schedules or according to our limited understanding. It has its own rhythm, its own flow, and your soul is already aligned with that flow. Surrendering to this divine flow can be difficult, especially when we feel uncertain or when the path ahead is unclear. It's natural to want to know exactly where you're headed, but the beauty of transformation lies in the journey, not the destination. Transformation is not a linear process, it's messy, unpredictable, and filled with twists and turns that may not make sense at first. But every step is necessary. Every challenge, every delay, every moment of doubt, it's all part of the larger plan. When you surrender, you stop fighting against the current of life. Instead, you align yourself with the rhythm of the universe. Surrender is not about passivity or giving up on your dreams. It's about releasing the need to control everything and trusting that the universe knows what's best for you. This act of surrender is an acknowledgement that there is a plan much greater than you could ever envision, and your soul is already aligned with it. One of the most powerful tools you have on this journey is your intuition. Your intuition is your inner compass, the guiding force that directs you when the path ahead seems uncertain. It's that quiet voice inside you that tells you which decision to make, which direction to take, and which people to trust. The more you listen to your intuition, the clearer its guidance becomes. Your intuition is the voice of your soul, and it always knows the way. It doesn't rely on logic or reasoning, it speaks to you in feelings, impressions, and subtle nudges. Have you ever experienced a moment of knowing, where you couldn't explain why, but you just knew what to do? That was your intuition at work, guiding you toward the next step on your path. Trusting your intuition requires you to quiet the noise around you and to tune in to the subtle messages within. It's easy to second-guess yourself or dismiss those quiet nudges as insignificant. But these intuitive signals are your connection to the universe, a way for the divine to communicate with you. Pay attention to those feelings of alignment, those gut instincts that urge you to act, and trust that they are guiding you toward your highest good. Divine timing is a crucial aspect of this journey. The universe does not operate according to your schedule, it has its own sense of timing, one that is always perfect, even when it doesn't align with your expectations. You may have spent years trying to control the timing of your life, forcing things to happen before they were ready, or rushing to reach a destination that didn't feel quite right. But when you surrender to divine timing, you stop resisting the flow and instead, align yourself with the perfect rhythm of the universe. Think back to moments in your life when things didn't go according to plan. Perhaps you faced delays, setbacks, or disappointments that seemed frustrating at the time. But looking back, you may realize that those delays were a blessing in disguise. They were divine interventions, redirecting you towards something better, something more aligned with your true path. Trust that the universe is working behind the scenes to bring everything together at exactly the right moment. Every delay, every obstacle, every moment of stillness is part of the divine timing at play. The universe is not punishing you, it's preparing you for something greater. When you trust in divine timing, you allow yourself to move with the flow of life, knowing that everything will unfold exactly as it should. One of the greatest opportunities that lies ahead of you is the unknown. The unknown is often a place of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's the place where the future is unclear, and the path seems uncharted. But for you, chosen one, the unknown is not something to fear. It is a realm of infinite potential, a canvas waiting for you to paint your masterpiece. Stepping into the unknown requires you to release the comfort of the familiar, the routines, and the stories that have kept you safe but small. It requires courage, trust, and faith. But the unknown is not empty, it is filled with possibilities waiting to be discovered. Each step you take into the unknown opens up new opportunities, new connections, and new growth. It's in the unknown that transformation happens. It's where you evolve, expand, and become the person you were always meant to be. It's where you learn to trust yourself, your intuition, and the guidance of the universe. As you step into the unknown, you will begin to notice how everything begins to fall into place. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach will suddenly be within your grasp. People who align with your energy will begin to show up at the right moment. And as you walk this path, you'll realize that the unknown is not your enemy, it is your greatest ally. As you continue on your journey, remember that the universe is constantly speaking to you. Its messages are everywhere, in the synchronicities, the signs, the dreams, and the quiet whispers within your soul. The key to unlocking your highest potential lies in your ability to trust these messages, trust yourself, and trust the divine flow that is guiding you. You are not alone on this path. The universe, your spirit guides, and your ancestors are all with you, supporting you every step of the way. Pay attention to the signs, listen to your intuition, and embrace the unknown. Your soul has been preparing for this moment, and everything you've experienced has been part of the divine plan. Trust that the universe has a beautiful, expansive, and fulfilling future in store for you. Every step you take, every decision you make, and every moment of surrender brings you closer to your destiny. The path ahead may not always be clear, but trust that the universe is guiding you, and you are exactly where you need to be. The best is yet to come, chosen one. Keep listening, keep trusting, and keep moving forward. To truly embrace the transformation that is waiting for you, it's essential to understand the illusions that have kept you from stepping fully into your power. We live in a world full of conditioning, societal expectations, and self-imposed limits that tell us who we should be, how we should act, and what success should look like. These illusions are often deeply ingrained in our minds from an early age. They shape our beliefs, our actions, and even our self-worth. From the moment we are born, we are handed scripts about how to live our lives. The world tells us what is acceptable, what is valued, and what is expected. These messages are often reinforced by the media, our families, and society at large. We are taught to conform to a set of standards, to meet certain expectations, and to follow a predefined path. But chosen one, the time has come to ask yourself, are these stories really true? Breaking free from the illusions that have held you captive is a profound and transformative act. It's about questioning everything you've been told about who you are and what you should be. It requires a deep willingness to challenge the beliefs that have been programmed into you and to examine whether they truly resonate with your soul. Often, these beliefs come from outside sources, parents, teachers, friends, and even society itself. But you were never meant to live according to someone else's script. The journey to breaking free from illusions begins with self-reflection. Ask yourself, is this belief truly mine, or was it handed to me by someone else? Does this path resonate with my soul, or am I following someone else's dream? These are the hard questions you need to ask in order to start dismantling the layers of illusion that have accumulated over the years. At first, this process of unraveling may feel uncomfortable. It may feel as if you're losing pieces of yourself, or that you no longer know who you are without the beliefs and identities you've held on to. It's like pulling a thread that unravels the tapestry of your life. But rest assured, chosen one, you are not losing yourself. You are simply shedding the layers that were never truly yours. The identities you've clung to, whether they were tied to your job, your family role, or even societal expectations, served a purpose at one time. They helped you navigate the world and gave you a sense of security. But they are not your true essence. Every mask you've worn, every role you've played, and every belief you've followed, these were just temporary expressions of who you thought you should be. The real you, the authentic version of yourself, is waiting to emerge. As you begin the process of breaking free, you may encounter resistance. Fear and doubt will try to hold you back. These are the most powerful illusions you will face, and they often disguise themselves as practicality and logic. Fear will whisper that your dreams are too big, your aspirations too risky. Doubt will tell you that you're not ready, that you don't have what it takes. But chosen one, these voices are not the truth. Fear masquerades as caution, telling you to stay small and safe, to avoid taking risks. It will remind you of past failures, past disappointments, and past mistakes. But fear is not there to protect you, it is there to keep you stuck. Every time you challenge fear, you dissolve another layer of illusion, and you move closer to your authentic self. Doubt, too, will try to creep in. It will make you question your worth, your abilities, and your potential. It will tell you that you're not capable of stepping into your power, that you are unworthy of the success and happiness that await you. But chosen one, doubt is a liar. It is not a reflection of your truth. Your soul knows exactly what it is capable of, and when you trust yourself, you will see that you have everything you need to succeed. Breaking free from these illusions requires courage. It's about stepping out of the comfort zone you've created for yourself, even when it feels safe but limiting. It's about facing the unknown, stepping into a space where you don't have all the answers and where things may not be as predictable as you'd like them to be. But this is where the magic happens. This is where the transformation begins. When you choose courage over fear, you open the door to a life of endless possibilities. The unknown is not your enemy, it is your opportunity. It is where your soul gets to evolve, where you get to redefine who you are and what you are capable of. By embracing the unknown, you allow yourself to expand, to grow, and to become the person you were always meant to be. It's natural to feel resistance to change, especially when it feels like you're leaving behind the safety of the known. But know this, the known is only holding you back. The comfort of the familiar will keep you stuck in old patterns and outdated beliefs. Stepping into the unknown is the only way to break free from the illusions that have kept you confined. Releasing the old beliefs, the fears, the doubts, and the identities that no longer serve you is an act of immense strength. It requires you to trust that what you're letting go of is making space for something better. Growth requires space. By shedding the weight of the past, you create room for new opportunities, new relationships, and new experiences that are in alignment with your highest self. Letting go is not always easy. You may feel sadness or grief as you release the things that once brought you comfort. But understand that this is part of the process. You are not losing anything that truly belongs to you. You are simply making room for the life that your soul has always longed for. Take a moment to reflect on the things you are still holding on to. Are they serving you, or are they keeping you stuck in a past version of yourself? Are the relationships you're maintaining aligned with your growth, or are they keeping you tethered to outdated versions of who you once were? Are the beliefs you hold about yourself empowering or limiting? Letting go means releasing the things, people, and beliefs that no longer align with your soul. It means honoring your own truth, even when it's uncomfortable or difficult. This is where true freedom lies. When you let go of the old, you make space for the new. You invite in the opportunities and experiences that are meant for you. As you break free from the illusions and release what no longer serves you, you will begin to see the beauty in your transformation. Transformation is not always smooth or easy, but it is always worth it. Each layer you shed, each fear you face, and each doubt you overcome brings you closer to your authentic self. Transformation is a process of self-discovery. It's about remembering who you truly are beneath all the layers of conditioning and expectations. It's about reclaiming your power, your voice, and your truth. And as you continue on this journey, you will find that you are more resilient, more confident, and more aligned with your soul's purpose than ever before. There may be times when you feel uncertain or lost. There may be moments when the path ahead feels unclear. But trust in the process. Trust that every step you take, every challenge you face, and every illusion you break free from is leading you toward a life of freedom, authenticity, and limitless potential. The universe has been working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything for your highest good. Every lesson, every setback, every moment of doubt, it has all been a part of your divine preparation. And now, you are ready to embrace the life you were always meant to live. Chosen one, it's time to embrace your authentic self. It's time to release the illusions that have held you back and step boldly into the life that is waiting for you. You are not here to live someone else's life or to follow someone else's path. You are here to create your own journey, one that reflects your truth, your power, and your purpose. This is your moment to step into your greatness. Trust yourself, trust the process, and trust that everything you've been through has prepared you for this moment. You are not alone on this journey, the universe is guiding you every step of the way. Trust the signs, trust your intuition, and know that the best is yet to come. You are a divine being with limitless potential. It's time to step into your power and live the life you were always meant to live. Trust the journey, trust yourself, and know that you are becoming the person your soul has always known you could be. The transformation is happening now. Step boldly into your destiny, chosen one. Your time is here. Chosen one, your journey is unlike anyone else's, and that's exactly how it's meant to be. It is as unique as your fingerprint, a masterpiece crafted by the universe, and shaped by the experiences, challenges, lessons, and desires that make you who you are. Yet, in a world that constantly urges comparison and conformity, it's easy to lose sight of this truth. We often find ourselves looking around, wondering if we are doing enough, questioning whether we are on the right path, or feeling as though we're falling behind. But the truth is this, your soul already knows the answer. Your journey is unfolding in divine perfection, exactly as it is meant to. Every step you've taken, every lesson you've learned, and every moment of stillness or struggle has been a part of your sacred path. You don't have to fit into someone else's mold. You are not here to measure your worth against the timelines of others or to compare your progress to someone else's journey. You are here to create your own path, one that is authentic to your soul and aligned with your highest purpose. In today's world, the pressure to conform is immense. Society tells us what success looks like, how we should behave, what our lives should look like, and when we should achieve certain milestones. Social media amplifies these expectations, showing everyone's highlight reel, which can lead us to feel like we are falling short. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that everyone else has it figured out, that others are moving ahead while you seem to be stuck. But chosen one, the truth is that there is no one-size-fits-all path. Your journey will not look like anyone else's, and that's okay. The world needs your unique perspective, your unique gifts, and your unique voice. Stop measuring your worth by external markers of success and start measuring it by how deeply you connect with your soul, how authentically you walk your path, and how courageously you step into your truth. The comparison trap will only keep you stuck. It will make you feel like you're constantly running a race you never signed up for, competing against others when the only competition that matters is the one you have with yourself. You are not in a race, you are on a journey. Your timing is unique, and your path is unfolding just as it should. Trust in that. As you continue on your journey, you will begin to see the beauty in imperfection. Life is not meant to be perfect, it's meant to be real, authentic, and full of growth. The highs and the lows, the moments of stillness and the moments of action, the times when you feel lost and the times when you feel found, they are all pieces of the puzzle. They are all part of the beauty of your journey. Every experience you've had has shaped you into the person you are today. The setbacks that once seemed like obstacles were actually redirections, guiding you towards something better. The moments of doubt were opportunities for growth and resilience. The struggles you've faced have awakened a strength within you that you never knew you had. And the relationships that fell away? They created space for deeper, more aligned connections that will support you on your path. It's easy to feel like you're behind in life, especially when you see others achieving milestones that seem to come effortlessly. But remember this, your soul operates on its own timing. The process of transformation does not happen in a straight line. It is often filled with twists, turns, pauses, and moments of stillness. It's easy to mistake these pauses for stagnation, but the truth is, they are moments of recalibration, giving you the space you need to realign with your soul's purpose. Each moment of doubt or stillness is a gift. It's a chance to reflect, to reassess, and to realign with what truly matters to you. You may feel like you're not moving fast enough, but in reality, you're exactly where you need to be. The universe works in its own timing, and everything will unfold when it is meant to. Trust that the pieces are falling into place, and that every step you take, no matter how small, is leading you to where you need to be. One of the biggest challenges in embracing your unique journey is letting go of the need for external validation. So often, we look to others for approval, for confirmation that we are on the right track. We seek reassurance from society, our families, our friends, and even strangers on social media. But the truth is, external validation is fleeting. It can never provide the deep sense of fulfillment and self-worth that comes from within. True validation comes from within you. It's about trusting yourself, trusting your decisions, and honoring your own journey. You don't need anyone else's permission to walk your path. When you stop seeking validation from the outside, you free yourself to live authentically. You become your own source of validation. As you walk your path, you will find that not everyone will understand or support your choices, and that's okay. You are not here to fit into the mold that others have created for you. You are here to create your own mold, to break free from the expectations that society has placed upon you and to embrace the fullness of who you are. As you continue your journey, your intuition will become an increasingly powerful tool. Your intuition is your inner compass, the guiding force that directs you when the path ahead seems unclear. It doesn't rely on logic, reason, or external opinions. It speaks to you in feelings, in knowing, in whispers that come from deep within. The more you trust your intuition, the clearer its guidance will become. The path you're on is yours and yours alone. Your intuition is the map, and your soul is the one holding the compass. Trust that even when the path is unclear, your inner guidance will show you the way. It may not always make logical sense, but it will always be aligned with your highest good. When you follow your intuition, you honor the sacred journey your soul has been preparing for. As you continue walking your unique path, take the time to celebrate every step. It doesn't matter how big or small the milestones may seem, each one is a victory. Every lesson learned, every hurdle overcome, and every moment of clarity is worth celebrating. These are the building blocks of your transformation. Even the struggles are worth celebrating because they are the moments when you grew the most. The moments when you faced fear, when you stood tall in the face of adversity, and when you refused to give up, those are the moments that shaped you into the powerful being you are becoming. Celebrate them, for they are part of your sacred journey. It's important to remember that your journey is yours alone. Stop comparing your progress to others. Stop measuring your worth based on someone else's timeline. Your path is unique, and it unfolds in its own perfect timing. Every person's journey looks different, and that is something to be celebrated, not envied. The more you embrace your uniqueness, the more you will find that you begin to attract people and opportunities that are in alignment with your soul's purpose. You will no longer feel the need to compare, because you will understand that there is no need to. Your path is your own, and it's unfolding in exactly the way it's meant to. Celebrate it. Remember, you are not walking this path alone. The universe, your spirit guides, and your higher self are always with you, guiding you, supporting you, and cheering you on. Every step you take is part of a greater plan, and each one is leading you toward the life you were always meant to live. Trust that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Trust that the universe is working in your favor, and that every challenge, every delay, and every twist in the road is part of the divine plan for your life. You are not alone, and everything you need is already within you. The universe is supporting you every step of the way. Chosen one, your journey is unfolding in divine perfection. Trust in your path, embrace your uniqueness, and walk boldly into the future that is waiting for you. You are exactly where you are meant to be, and everything you've experienced has prepared you for this moment. Celebrate the journey, embrace the unknown, and know that the best is yet to come. Your soul has been guiding you, and the universe has been supporting you. This is your time. Step boldly, trust yourself, and embrace the life that is calling you forward. In a world where many are content to follow the crowd, there exists a unique group of individuals who have been called for something far greater. These are the chosen ones, those who endure trials and tribulations beyond the comprehension of most. While others might sail through life with relative ease, the chosen ones are often faced with spiritual tests so profound that they can make or break their very souls. But why are they chosen? What makes them capable of enduring such hardship? And what is the purpose behind these extreme spiritual challenges? Let us begin by understanding that being a chosen one is not about being born with special gifts or qualities that set them apart. It is not about receiving privileges that others do not have access to. On the contrary, the chosen ones are forged in the fire of adversity. They are not born with strength, rather, they develop it through the most intense trials. These are spiritual, mental, and emotional tests that can neither be seen with the eyes nor measured with any tool, but instead are felt deeply in the heart and spirit. The tests faced by these individuals are meant to push them to the very edge of their limits, to the brink of despair, to a point where the only choice is to either rise or fall. In the midst of suffering, the chosen ones find transformation. This path is not for the faint of heart. The journey of the chosen ones involves walking through fire, not because they want to, but because they must. There is a divine calling inside them, urging them forward. It's not glamorous, it's not easy, and it's certainly not optional. The weight of the world may feel unbearable at times, and the trials may seem insurmountable, but these obstacles are not meant to destroy. They are there to build, to refine, and to strengthen. The idea of being chosen does not necessarily mean being born extraordinary, but rather, it means being prepared to become extraordinary through hardship. Take, for instance, the biblical figure of Job. In the midst of unimaginable suffering, losing his wealth, his health, and his family, Job never lost faith in God. In fact, his trials transformed him. As Job reflects in the book of Job 23 verse 10, he says, "But he knows the way that I take, when he has tested me, I will come forth as gold." Through the crucible of suffering, Job was refined, much like gold is purified by fire. The trials and challenges that the chosen ones face are meant to prepare them for a higher calling. They help these individuals uncover their true strength, learn the lessons that will guide them in their divine purpose, and help them realize their spiritual potential. These tests are not the end of the journey, but stepping stones that lead to something greater than they could ever imagine. And while they may feel isolated, abandoned, or forsaken during the darkest moments, they are never truly alone. Their faith, their trust in God, and their perseverance through the storms of life will eventually lead them to their purpose. The purpose of the chosen ones is not always easy to comprehend. It is not about seeking fame, wealth, or comfort. Instead, it is about walking a path that no one else can walk, enduring tests that only the chosen are capable of enduring, and emerging from the trials as a beacon of light for others. At the heart of the journey of the chosen ones is the divine call, a force that tugs at their hearts, urging them to move forward, even when the path seems unclear. This call is not something that can be easily ignored. It is like a fire that burns within them, pushing them to face challenges that others would shy away from. This divine pull isn't something that most people can understand because it doesn't make sense in worldly terms. It's not about comfort, safety, or security. It's about spiritual growth, transformation, and stepping into one's true purpose. One of the first tests that every chosen one must face is the test of confronting the truth of who they truly are. Often, we spend our lives building facades, creating identities based on what we do, what we own, and how others perceive us. But when the chosen ones face their first spiritual trial, all these external markers are stripped away, and they are left to confront themselves in their purest form. They are forced to ask the question, who am I, really, without the comfort of titles, possessions, or societal roles to define them? This is not an easy question to answer. In fact, it is one of the most uncomfortable and vulnerable moments of their journey. This confrontation with the truth of who they are is the first step in their spiritual awakening. For example, consider the story of Moses in the Bible. Moses had been a prince of Egypt, defined by his wealth, status, and power. But when he fled into the wilderness and encountered the burning bush, God asked him to step into a purpose far greater than he could have ever imagined. He had to confront his identity, who he was, what he was meant to do, and how God saw him. In Exodus 3 verse 11, Moses asks God, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" It is in this moment that Moses begins his transformation, shedding his old identity and embracing the calling that God had placed on his life. The challenge here is not just facing the uncomfortable truth about oneself, but learning to embrace it. When all the external markers are stripped away, what remains? Who are we without the labels, titles, or roles that we have assigned to ourselves? This is where the journey of the chosen ones truly begins, the moment they look in the mirror and choose to embrace the truth of who they are. The tests they face along the way are meant to strip away these illusions, helping them to discover the deeper truth of their purpose. As the journey progresses, the tests become more challenging. Yet, each trial is an opportunity for spiritual growth, to dig deeper into the calling and the divine purpose that lies within. These trials are not punishments but lessons that mold the chosen ones into the individuals they are meant to be. Every challenge is a step closer to discovering and fulfilling their unique purpose in the grand divine plan. When you face a spiritual test, you might be tempted to retreat, to run from the discomfort, to try to put the pieces of your life back together the way they were before. But the chosen ones do not retreat. They face their fears, their uncertainties, and their struggles head-on. They trust that, although the journey may be tough and uncertain, it is leading them to something far greater than they could ever have imagined. And at the end of this journey, they will emerge as individuals who are not only capable of withstanding life's most difficult trials but who are also aligned with their divine purpose, ready to live out their calling with clarity and confidence. The first test of the chosen ones, confronting the truth of who you truly are, is just the beginning. It may feel overwhelming, vulnerable, and uncomfortable, but it is in this moment that the transformation begins. From here, the journey will take them through even deeper tests, each one designed to strip away the false identities and misconceptions that have held them back and guide them to a place of true spiritual awakening. Are you ready to embrace the truth of who you are? To confront the mask you've worn for so long and step into the person God has called you to be? The chosen ones do not shy away from this truth. They face it, embrace it, and in doing so, they unlock their full potential and begin to live in alignment with their divine purpose. This is your journey, and it is a journey that will ultimately lead you to the fulfillment of your unique, divine calling. As the chosen ones walk through the fire of spiritual tests, the journey does not become any easier. In fact, the tests grow more intense and challenging as they go deeper into their divine calling. After confronting the truth of who you are in the first test, the next trial involves something that many people fear: isolation. This is not just being physically alone, it is a profound mental and emotional solitude that forces you to face your innermost self. The test of isolation is one that many people find difficult to endure. In today's world, where distractions are at our fingertips, and the noise of the world never seems to cease, the idea of being truly alone can be terrifying. We are constantly bombarded by social media, work demands, and the constant chatter of friends and family. But for the chosen ones, this test is not just about being separated from others physically, it is about embracing a spiritual isolation that forces them to confront themselves in ways that are uncomfortable and raw. Isolation, in this sense, is a necessary part of the spiritual journey. In the silence of solitude, the distractions that usually mask the truth of our own hearts and minds are stripped away. There is no noise to drown out our inner thoughts, and we are forced to face the fears, doubts, and desires that we may have spent years avoiding. It is in this quiet that the real transformation begins. For many, silence is terrifying because it brings them face to face with uncomfortable truths. In the quiet, you may begin to hear your inner voice, something that has been drowned out by the noise of the world. It is the voice of your true self, the voice that is trying to guide you toward your divine purpose. But are you willing to listen to it? Many are afraid of the silence because it forces them to confront their deepest fears. The mind can be a chaotic place, and without the distractions of the external world, the noise of our own thoughts can become overwhelming. But for the chosen ones, this silence is not something to fear. It is an opportunity to hear the voice of God calling them to something greater, just as it did for Jesus in the wilderness. Consider the story of Jesus in the wilderness in the Bible. After fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, Jesus was tempted by the devil. The wilderness was a place of isolation where he faced not only physical hunger but also spiritual and emotional battles. But in that isolation, he also heard the voice of God more clearly. Jesus was led into the wilderness by the Spirit, and it was in the solitude of that place that he was spiritually prepared for the mission that lay ahead. This wilderness experience is an important part of the spiritual journey for the chosen ones. Just as Jesus embraced his time in the wilderness, so too must you embrace moments of isolation in your own life. These moments are not meant to break you, they are meant to reveal something deep within you, your true purpose, your inner strength, and your divine calling. The test of isolation asks you to sit with yourself, to confront your inner thoughts, and to be present with your fears and desires without distractions. It is in this solitude that you may discover the parts of yourself that have been hidden or suppressed. And while this may feel uncomfortable or even painful, it is through this process that the chosen ones undergo transformation. As the journey continues, the chosen ones are faced with another profound test, the test of letting go. This is perhaps one of the most difficult trials because it challenges you at the very core of your being. We all have attachments to people, to outcomes, to situations, and even to our own pasts. These attachments can become so deeply ingrained that they weigh us down, preventing us from moving forward. The test of letting go asks you to release these attachments and trust that God's plan for your life is far greater than anything you can imagine. Letting go does not mean you stop caring or that you give up on the things that are important to you. Instead, it means surrendering your need for control, trusting that whatever is meant for you will come in due time, and that what is not meant for you will naturally fall away. Letting go is a process, not a one-time event. It requires patience, trust, and continuous effort. There will be moments when you feel the pull to cling to the things you've spent years holding on to. It could be the people in your life, the job you've worked so hard to attain, or even the dreams and aspirations you have held dear. But the key to passing this test is learning to let go, even of those things that are dear to your heart. Take, for instance, the story of Abraham in the Bible. God called Abraham to leave everything he knew, the land, his family, his security, and go to a place that he did not know. Abraham had to let go of everything, his past, his comfort, and his sense of control. This was an act of immense faith, as Abraham had no idea what the future would hold. But by surrendering his control and trusting in God's plan, Abraham stepped into the blessing that God had prepared for him. The test of letting go challenges us to release our attachment to outcomes. It asks us to stop trying to control every aspect of our lives and trust that God's plan for us is greater than anything we could have imagined. But letting go is not easy. It requires faith, trust, and a willingness to surrender our need for control. When you let go, you make space for God to work in your life. You stop resisting the flow of life, and instead, you align yourself with it. This is where true peace and freedom come from, when you release your attachment to outcomes and trust that God knows what is best for you. The chosen ones understand that letting go is not a sign of weakness, rather, it is an act of strength. It requires immense courage to surrender to the unknown, to trust that God's plan is unfolding perfectly, even when it doesn't make sense to us. But when you are able to release control and let go of the need to shape your life according to your own desires, you open yourself up to divine guidance. You allow life to carry you in the direction you are meant to go. As you face this test, ask yourself, can you let go of the things that are holding you back? Can you trust that God's plan for you is greater than anything you could have imagined? The chosen ones answer these questions with a resounding yes. They embrace the process of letting go because they know that it is through surrender that they align with their true purpose and find peace. The tests of isolation and letting go are not easy. They challenge the very core of who we are. But for the chosen ones, these trials are necessary for spiritual growth and transformation. It is through isolation that you confront your true self, and it is through letting go that you make room for divine guidance and transformation. As you continue on this journey, remember that you are not alone. The chosen ones walk this path together, and although the trials may be difficult, they are ultimately leading you toward your divine purpose. Each test you face is a stepping stone that brings you closer to the person you are meant to be. As the journey of the chosen ones progresses, it takes them into the depths of the soul, where they are asked to confront not only the external challenges of life but also the profound internal darkness that resides within. The dark night of the soul is a trial that not only tests one's faith but also strips away everything that is familiar, revealing the deep void that lies within. This trial, although terrifying, is essential for spiritual growth. It is a moment when everything you thought you knew about yourself and your life is turned upside down, and you are forced to face the deepest parts of your being. The dark night of the soul is not just a metaphor, it is an actual experience that the chosen ones go through. It is a period of profound inner turmoil and emotional suffering, where the world seems to crumble around you. Relationships fall apart, careers disintegrate, and everything you once held dear appears to slip through your fingers. It feels like the universe itself is asking you, how much darkness can you endure before you lose your light? For many, the dark night feels like an unbearable weight, a period of intense emotional and spiritual disillusionment. In these moments, you might question your faith, your purpose, and your very existence. The suffering seems endless, and the clarity you once had about your life and your calling may fade into confusion and doubt. It is easy to feel that you are being punished, that God has abandoned you, or that everything you've endured has been for nothing. But this is precisely where the transformation begins. The dark night of the soul is not a punishment, it is a purification. It is a necessary part of your spiritual evolution, designed to strip away everything that is not truly you. It is in these moments of pain and confusion that your deepest light is often revealed, but only if you can endure and trust in the process. The darkness is not here to destroy you, it is here to refine you. Just as gold is purified by fire, the chosen ones are purified by their trials. The key to surviving the dark night is endurance. This is where many people break down and lose hope, but the chosen ones rise above. They know that the darkness is temporary and that it is part of a greater plan. They trust that, even when they cannot see it, the light will eventually return. During this period, it is crucial to hold on to faith, even when everything around you seems uncertain. The Bible offers us several examples of individuals who faced the dark night of the soul. One of the most profound examples is Moses. For 40 years, Moses wandered in the wilderness before leading his people to freedom. During this time, he likely experienced feelings of isolation, confusion, and despair. But it was in the wilderness that Moses was transformed. He learned to trust in God's plan, even when it felt like nothing was happening. He endured the darkness and, in doing so, emerged ready to fulfill his divine purpose. Another example is Jesus, who faced his own dark night in the Garden of Gethsemane. In Matthew 26 verse 38, Jesus says, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death." He was in deep agony, knowing the suffering that lay ahead of him. Yet, despite his fear and sorrow, he did not give in to despair. He prayed, "Not my will, but yours be done." Jesus, in his moment of darkness, trusted in God's plan, even though it was incredibly painful and uncertain. His faith in the divine plan carried him through the trial, and through his suffering, he fulfilled his divine purpose. Faith, in these moments of darkness, is not about ignoring the pain or pretending everything is fine. Faith is about trusting that there is a purpose behind the suffering, even when you cannot see it. It is about believing that God's plan is greater than any circumstance you face, even when it feels like the world is falling apart. This is where the test of faith comes into play. The chosen ones are those who endure in the face of the unknown. They trust in the unseen, even when they cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel. This test is not about blind faith, but about faith in the process, even when that process is difficult and unclear. Faith is about holding on to the belief that everything is happening for a reason, even when that reason is not immediately clear. In moments of suffering, it can be difficult to hold on to hope. The weight of the trials can feel too heavy to bear, and it may seem as though there is no way out. But the chosen ones are those who hold fast to their faith, even when everything around them is falling apart. Take, for example, Joseph, whose story is told in the book of Genesis. Joseph was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and imprisoned for something he didn't do. He went through immense suffering and hardship, yet through it all, he trusted in God's plan for his life. In Genesis 50 verse 20, after his brothers came to him in fear, Joseph said, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Joseph's faith carried him through his trials, and in the end, he was able to see the greater purpose behind his suffering. His faith in God's plan allowed him to persevere and fulfill his divine calling. The test of faith is not about being unaffected by your circumstances. It is about trusting that the circumstances are part of a bigger picture that you cannot yet see. It is about believing that, even in the darkest moments, there is a greater purpose unfolding, one that will bring you closer to your divine calling. For the chosen ones, this is the essence of endurance. They may not always understand why they are going through certain trials, but they trust that the darkness will eventually give way to light. They know that every moment of suffering is a step toward their transformation. Every challenge they face is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more aligned with their divine purpose. The chosen ones are those who understand that faith is not just about believing in times of ease, but about continuing to trust when everything feels uncertain. It is about holding on to the belief that God's plan is greater than anything they can comprehend, even when the world seems to be falling apart. The dark night of the soul and the test of faith are not easy, and they are not for the faint of heart. But it is through these trials that the chosen ones are refined and transformed. It is in the darkness that the light within them is forged. The moment of greatest suffering often leads to the moment of greatest transformation. As you face your own dark nights and moments of doubt, remember that this is a necessary part of your spiritual journey. The darkness is not there to destroy you. It is there to help you grow into the person you are meant to be. And when you emerge from the darkness, you will be stronger, purer, and more aligned with your divine purpose than ever before. The chosen ones do not shrink from the darkness. They walk through it with faith, knowing that it is through their endurance that they will emerge victorious. As you walk through your own dark nights, remember the stories of Moses, Jesus, and Joseph. Each of them endured profound suffering, yet each emerged with a greater understanding of their divine purpose. They trusted in God's plan, even when they couldn't see the end, and they fulfilled their callings because of their faith and their perseverance. As we continue on this journey, we will explore the test of surrender, another key challenge the chosen ones must face. This test will challenge you to let go of the need to control and surrender to the flow of life, trusting that even when you cannot see the way ahead, God is guiding you toward your highest purpose. Stay tuned as we dive into this powerful test and continue uncovering the trials that shape the chosen ones. As the journey of the chosen ones unfolds, it brings them to one of the most profound and transformative challenges, the test of surrender. After enduring the darkness of the soul and testing their faith, the chosen ones are asked to release the last vestiges of control and trust in the divine flow of life. This is not a test of weakness, but rather one of immense strength, a test that demands them to let go of their need for certainty, control, and understanding, and surrender to the greater plan that has been unfolding all along. For many, the test of surrender is one of the hardest trials to face. As human beings, we are wired to seek control over our lives, to plan, organize, and predict the future. We want to be in charge of our circumstances, our relationships, and our outcomes. But life often does not unfold according to our plans. There are moments when everything seems to slip out of our grasp, when the things we once thought we could control are taken from us. And it is in these moments that we face the challenge of surrender. The test of surrender is not about abandoning hope or giving up on our dreams. It is about letting go of our attachment to the outcome and trusting that the divine plan for us is greater than anything we could imagine. This test asks us to release the illusion of control and trust that life, even in its most uncertain moments, is unfolding exactly as it should. Imagine you are in the middle of a river, swimming against the current. You might struggle, fight the water, and exhaust yourself in an attempt to get to a destination that seems distant. But no matter how hard you try, you cannot swim against the flow forever. At some point, you must let go of your struggle, release your need to control, and allow the current to carry you. This is what surrender looks like in spiritual terms. It is about releasing your grip on life's steering wheel and trusting that the current will take you where you need to go. To surrender is to accept that we cannot predict every twist and turn in the journey. We do not have control over every situation, nor can we dictate the outcomes of every event. But when we surrender, we open ourselves up to the divine intelligence of the universe, which knows far more than we ever could. Surrendering to life's flow means accepting what is, without resistance, and trusting that this acceptance will lead us to greater peace, wisdom, and fulfillment. The Bible offers a powerful example of surrender through the story of Abraham. In Genesis 22, God asks Abraham to sacrifice his beloved son, Isaac, a command that challenged everything Abraham believed about life, faith, and his relationship with God. The request was deeply painful, as Abraham had waited so long for the son he had been promised. Yet, Abraham chose to surrender his will to God. He placed his trust in the divine plan, even though it seemed incomprehensible at the time. God tested Abraham's faith and obedience, asking him to release his attachment to the most precious thing in his life. But Abraham's willingness to surrender was rewarded. In the end, God provided a ram to be sacrificed in Isaac's place, and Abraham's faith was proven to be unwavering. Abraham's story illustrates the powerful act of surrender, not as an act of defeat, but as an expression of trust in the greater divine purpose that guides our lives. Abraham's surrender allowed him to step into a future filled with blessings that he could never have anticipated. Similarly, in our own lives, surrender requires us to let go of the things that hold us back. It may be our attachment to people, to outcomes, or to our own identity. It could be the desire to control every aspect of our journey or to avoid uncertainty. But when we release these attachments and trust that life is unfolding according to a divine plan, we make space for something greater to enter our lives. The power of surrender lies in its ability to bring us into alignment with our divine purpose. When we stop fighting against life, when we stop resisting the natural flow, we begin to understand that there is a greater force at work. The universe, or God, is guiding us toward a path we may not yet understand, but that we can trust is for our highest good. Surrender is not about giving up our desires or abandoning our dreams. Rather, it is about trusting that the right opportunities will come at the right time. It is about believing that the universe will provide what we need, not necessarily what we want, but what is best for us in the long run. The chosen ones understand that surrender is not weakness but strength, the strength to let go, to trust, and to be led by something greater than themselves. The ultimate form of surrender is the letting go of the ego, the false sense of self that holds us back from our true purpose. The ego is rooted in fear, in the need for control, and in the desire to protect itself from the unknown. But to truly align with our divine calling, we must release the ego and its illusions. We must stop identifying with the roles we play, the achievements we have accumulated, and the identities we have built around our past. In the Bible, we see this ultimate surrender in the life of Jesus. In the Garden of Gethsemane, as Jesus faced the impending agony of the cross, he prayed, "Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me, yet not my will, but yours be done." Jesus' willingness to surrender his will to the Father was the ultimate act of faith. He let go of his own desires and accepted the path that was set before him, trusting that it was part of a greater plan. For the chosen ones, this is the moment when they let go of their need to control everything in their lives. They release their attachment to ego-driven desires, allowing their true selves to emerge. This surrender brings freedom, not the freedom to live without purpose, but the freedom to live in alignment with the divine plan that has always been intended for them. Once the chosen ones pass the test of surrender, they are ready for the final test, the test of awakening. This is the moment when everything falls into place. It is the moment when the veil of illusion is lifted, and they are able to see themselves, their lives, and their purpose with absolute clarity. The struggle, the suffering, the darkness, and the faith all lead to this awakening, a deep realization of who they are and why they are here. The test of awakening is not about achieving something, it is about realizing that the divine purpose has always been within you. It is not a future goal to be reached, but a present truth to be embraced. When you awaken to your true self, you no longer feel the need to strive or struggle. You understand that everything you've been through, the pain, the challenges, and the growth, was necessary to bring you to this point of clarity and purpose. In the Bible, the Apostle Paul had his own awakening. Before his conversion on the road to Damascus, Paul was known as Saul, a persecutor of Christians. But after encountering the divine presence, he underwent a profound transformation. In Galatians 2 verse 20, Paul writes, "I have been crucified with Christ and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me." This was his moment of awakening, when he realized that his life was no longer about his own desires and ego, but about living out the divine purpose God had set for him. The chosen ones experienced this awakening when they realized that their life is part of a larger plan, a plan that has always been unfolding, even in the moments of suffering and doubt. They come to understand that they are not separate from the universe or from God, they are an expression of divine purpose, unfolding in the world with every step they take. Once awakened, the chosen ones are ready to live in full alignment with their purpose. They no longer live in fear or doubt. They are free to live authentically, to express their true selves, and to walk in their divine calling. This is the ultimate reward for those who have endured the hardest trials. It is the freedom to be who you were always meant to be, and to live out the purpose that has been unfolding within you all along. So, as you reflect on the journey of the chosen ones, ask yourself, are you ready to surrender? Are you ready to let go of the need to control and trust that life is guiding you toward your highest purpose? Are you ready to awaken to your divine calling and step into the life you were always meant to live? The choice is yours. The journey is challenging, but it leads to something far greater than you can imagine. The moment of awakening is not the end of the journey, but the beginning of a new and profound chapter in your spiritual evolution. The chosen ones know that with each test they endure, they grow closer to their true selves and to the divine purpose that awaits them. And with each step, they move forward in trust, knowing that their journey is unfolding exactly as it should.